Hi, Malini.
Hi, Nutan.
Listen, this is one of the coldest day in Chicagoland, and that brings me to the topic I wanted to discuss today, and that is what to do during winter. Because I find myself just sitting at home. I'm not a outdoorsy person. I don't like to go out unless I absolutely have to. So basically, that means sitting home, watching TV, reading things, and that's it. You had some very interesting
Yeah,
thoughts.
because I always feel like, you know, it's not the being, because you can do a lot of things inside your house. You're warm, you're inside the house, you're not slipping outside, but which doesn't involve sitting. I think the problem is the sitting. And like you said, some of the things you like doing more in winter are a lot of reading, watching TV, maybe people who do crocheting, knitting, I don't know, whatever else that involves, but I'm talking about sitting. So here I want to just focus on the fact that just because you're inside the house doesn't mean that you sit and don't move. So my first tip is focus on movement. So I try to remind myself for every hour that I sit, I get up and walk or do something for 10 minutes. You can set an alarm, you can just remind yourself, oh, I've been sitting. Now, people who wear those, trip step things, there may be something you can set up that say, oh, you haven't moved or whatever. I always try to do little things like when I'm boiling water or in the doing something in the microwave. You've got 2 to 5 minutes that you're doing something, right? At that time, I always try and do something. I really particularly like squats because I feel like you're doing big muscle and I move my arms. So I'm doing like whole body exercise. Now, if you have more mobility or knee issues or something, you want to do something simpler. You can do stretches, you can do one leg raises. Calf raises are very good. Calf raises, toe raises, balancing, walking backwards. But just in your mind think, okay, let me just move.
So let me pick a counterpoint from those who have more actually mobility issues, because moving means require mobility. Go back and forth, and knee hurts. That so one thing that I do, which is not as active as you, but still some activity, is I will do a lot of joint movements, sitting while they're like moving just this joints, neck joint, shoulder joints, and that is something I can do without bringing attention to me in any situation. Watching TV, I can do ankle movements. I think your calf raises is something I like to do too. The other thing that I do, which is actually a modification of what you do, but it is helping in me gain more balance, is when I'm working or doing making a tea in microwave, I will stand on one leg while the microwave is running. So that gives me 30 to 60 seconds on one limb at a time.
Balance is so important.
I also will walk toe on my toes. I would do as if I'm jumping a puddle. So those are the kind of things that I focus a lot more on balance. One thing that I think what we're trying to talk about is that you don't have to set up exercise time separately. It's the movement part of it. Now, people, not just mobility, it is also muscle strength.
Yes.
So that is something that I find myself, I don't go to gym.
Right.
In winter especially.
Yeah.
And you do a lot of muscle training on the go.
We still go to the gym twice a week. I mean, it's not like I like, but one of the things is when you schedule it and you actually have a trainer, you're like forced to go. So that's one thing. But I'm, right on the sofa, right next to my coffee table, I keep weights. I've got 5-pound weights and I've got 3-pound weights. 3-pound weights are better for little wrist, like you said. The same thing that you're doing, you could do with the light weight and add the little resistance. Now, these are bigger weights, but basically I'm just sitting here. I'm not doing anything. But during that sitting time, I can do a lot of things. And when I see it, that's the other thing, to have it available where you're sitting. If you're going, a lot of people have gyms in their houses. You know, we used to have a treadmill. We used to have an exercise bike. Honestly, I never used any of it. We used to, like everybody, hanging clothes on it. So there's no point. If you're the kind of person who really can use those kinds of things in your house, you know, power to you. That's one thing that you can do, doesn't matter what season. But you really have to do things that work for you, right? No point having a fancy gym room. This is something that I discovered this winter, which has been wonderful. It is, I can do it with my hand, but generally it is basically resistant. Now I'm going to show you this.
Yeah.
So you try this, okay?
Yeah.
And you don't have, and you
can do it on between your thighs
that's
too.
where you do it, between your thighs.
But you can also do here.
Yes, so I do it both for my arms, and it's some simple thing.
How much did it cost? Not that we're doing any product
No,
placement,
this
but
was from Amazon. Maybe it was $20. I mean, it really was nothing great. And I saw it somewhere on some advert, and I thought, hey, I'm going to check this out. And now I've had this for about 2 months, and I will tell you, I use this both for hand, and I put it between my thighs. Put it between your thighs. And
oh, this is great.
Yeah, and this is a great one to use when you are watching TV. Yes,
Oh.
it is a brilliant one for watching TV. So you're doing large muscle. I don't know whether you can move this.
No.
Yeah, a little difficult. But anyway, so you know, so this is one that I wanted to show you, because I feel like, and if you can't push it very much, you don't have to push very much. You can push a little bit. It's not like lifting weights. And you are much less likely to be straining yourself or even dropping a weight. So yeah, I'm not sure what it is. This one is called Pro Body Pilates.
Oh.
But you also, I mean, I do some of it, but not as much as you. But you do some chair yoga.
Yes. So this chair yoga basically is stretches. So because some of it's not, and actually when people used to think about going to yoga classes, for me one of the biggest problem was the yoga classes have downward dog as a resting place.
Oh.
My wrists have always been such that downward dog was never the resting places, and I never liked doing yoga classes because I'm always focusing on how wonderfully people are doing and how horrible I am. But this chair yoga is variations on yoga, and it can be any person doing these same asanas that or stretches that people do doing the regular yoga. These are modified versions of the same things, and I was able to see that, oh, I can do this. So it's simple things, stretching every part of your body, and doing in while you're sitting, and that is one of the most pleasant things you can
See,
do.
and I also think that if you have a lot of yoga involves sitting cross-legged on the floor, which, you know, if you have some knee issues or something,
you
getting
can do.
up, or you can actually strain yourself doing that.
Oh, you just, it is not. See, what you have to think about it, and if you really want to do the chair yoga and modify it, you have to think about is which muscle it is stretching, and how I can stretch it without doing the exact that asana. And I'm not asking people to actually think about anatomy and musculoskeletal system. There are so many people on internet, YouTube, have these wonderful chair yogas, and I won't say one versus other. Sometimes I go through all of them because it's like having different people. But chair yoga is something that you can do when you're just home and not doing anything. It is still a movement.
Yes, and I think you know, the technically the 2 cents on this one is, I think, to think about, simple way is to think about not sitting for long periods of a time. Just saying, what can I do to move? Using stairs in your house. You know, stairs are wonderful. You can just walk up the stairs. You can do, steps, just up and down, balance on one foot. There are a lot of things you can do. Be careful, just use the bottom step. But I think for me, that is an important thing.
And second is that these are not in place of a regular vigorous exercise if you can do it, but they improve functionality. They have no impact on weight gain, weight loss, but it is
Yes.
improve the mobility and
the
functionality.
other thing I want to say is people sometimes think, oh, I've gone to the gym for a whole hour or 2 hours, I've worked out. Now for the rest of the day, I'm just going to flop around. The important thing is constant moving. Moving, like I said, every hour actually is very beneficial, in some ways more beneficial than some like very intense 1 hour of exercise and then basically not moving for the next 10 hours.
So I will close it with a very popular Hindi song, and I will say the song first, and then I'll translate it, and then we'll end it. The song says, Jeevan Chalne Ka Naam. That means life is about mobility, moving.
Oh.
Chalte raho. So you can keep walking.
Oh, that's yeah. I mean,
So,
that is, I mean, both in a metaphorical way,
Yes.
but also in a physical
Yeah,
way.
Jeevan Chalne Ka Naam, Chalte raho subah sham. So every morning, every evening, keep walking.
Yeah, I think that's great.
Yeah.